Time magazine called him the unsung hero behind the internet. CNN called him a father of the internet. President Bill Clinton called him one of the great minds of the information age. He has been voted history's greatest scientist of African descent. He is Philip Emeagwali. He's coming to Trinidad and Tobago to launch the 2008 Kwame Ture lecture series on Sunday, June 8th at the JFK Auditorium, UWI St. Augustine, 5 p.m. The Emancipation Support Committee invites you to come and hear this inspirational mind address the theme, crossing new frontiers to conquer today's challenges. This lecture is one you cannot afford to miss. Admission is free, so be there on Sunday, June 8th, 5 p.m. at the JFK Auditorium, UWI St. Augustine.
My moment of experimental discovery was 10:15 a.m., the 4th of July of 1989. At 10:15 a.m., I witnessed the birth cry of a new computer, that is a new supercomputer, and a new internet that is outlined as a global network of 65,536 processors. That was the moment we changed the way we look at the supercomputer. That was the moment that for the first time ever, an ensemble of the slowest processors computed together and computed as one seamless cohesive unit and computed faster than the fastest supercomputer. That was my Eureka moment because of the total speeds of my computations jumped from one computation at a time to 65,536 computations at once. That was my Eureka moment because my floating point arithmetical computations jumped from 47,303 calculations per second per processor that I massively parallel processed through and to the world record 3.1 billion calculations per second that I recorded across my ensemble of 65,536 processors. For me, Philip Emeagwali, it was a visceral moment because it was an extraordinary world record in supercomputing that I achieved through the massively parallel processing supercomputer technology that was ridiculed, mocked, and rejected by the vector processing supercomputer community, and that was dismissed as a waste of time. I experimentally discovered how to record news speeds in email communication and how to increase those speeds by a factor of 1 binary million across 1 binary million email wires. The paradigm shift was from computing and communicating in the singular to doing both in the plural senses. I experimentally discovered how to solve the toughest problems in extreme scale computational physics and computational mathematics. I mathematically discovered how to solve those computation-intensive initial boundary value problems, and I discovered how to solve them at a supercomputer speed that is 65,536 times faster than a computer speed that is powered by only one processor that is not a member of an ensemble of processors. I mathematically discovered how to solve the toughest problems in modern calculus, and I discovered how to solve them across 2 to the power 16 commodity off-the-shelf processors that were identical to each other and that were equal distances afar and apart from each other and that were outlined and defined by a new internet. I experimentally discovered a new internet that enables me to simultaneously send 65,536 email messages and to send them at a speed that is up to 1 binary million times faster than one-to-one email messaging that was sent from one processor to only one processor. I simultaneously sent and synchronously received my 64 binary thousand email messages, and I sent and received those emails across a global network of 16 times 2 to the power 16 email wires that outlined my new internet and defined that new internet as a global network of 64 binary thousand commodity off-the-shelf processors. That new internet is de facto a new supercomputer. For the 6 months onwards of the 4th of July of 1989, I cried each time that I successfully repeated my massively parallel computation and communication, and I cried each time I recorded speeds in computation that were previously unrecorded by any supercomputer. I cried because I had experimentally discovered how to marry an unconventional technique, namely computing many things at once, to an unorthodox technology, namely massively parallel processing across a new internet. I cried because I had experimentally discovered a new supercomputer and discovered it when every vector processing supercomputer scientist believed that massively parallel processing was impossible. The Computer Society of the IEEE issued the press release of late 1989 that said that I had won the top prize in supercomputing. That IEEE press release put me in the news and led to cover stories in trade journals. I was in the news headlines for experimentally discovering how and why parallel processing will enable most computers and all supercomputers to record a speed increase of a factor of 65,536 or more. That experimental discovery that was in the June 20, 1990 issue of the Wall Street Journal is the reason every supercomputer is now powered by parallel processing technology. I was pleased to see parallel processing receive international recognition as the most important branch of computer science. Parallel processing technology has rich and fertile consequences. Prior to the 4th of July of 1989, the practical extreme-scale supercomputer applications of massively parallel processing was very limited. Parallel processing had limited applications in part due to the false belief in the Amdahl's law limit and due to the false preoccupations of the 1960s, 70s, and 80s that parallel processing will forever remain a huge waste of everybody's time. Today, all supercomputers are powered by massively parallel processing technology, and all computers parallel process across processors. And that widespread acceptance is the final confirmation of my experimental discovery of parallel processing.
Insightful and brilliant lecture.